Welcome, dear listener. As the day finishes and the world outside grows still, we leave behind our own time. We'll travel not with urgency, but with a slow, steady pace far back to the edges of a mighty empire. Tonight, we won't focus on the shouts of emperors or the grand clashes of armies, but on the rhythm of a life lived within that structure. The life of a common soldier of Rome. Imagine not the chaos of battle, but the quiet moments in between. The feeling of a wool cloak in the cool dawn air, the taste of simple wheat porridge, the sound of your own footsteps on a paved road, mile after mile. This is the story of routine, of discipline, of a day shaped by the sound of a trumpet, and of the quiet companionship of the men who shared your tent. So, find a comfortable position, let your breathing settle into a slow and even rhythm, and let us walk together through the daily life of a Roman soldier. Let us begin in the deep blue-gray light just before sunrise. Imagine you are lying on a simple cot, not soft but firm, raised off the damp ground. This is your space in a long, rectangular barracks building, inside the wooden walls of a fort on a northern frontier, perhaps in Britannia or along the Rhine. The air is chilly, and it carries the scent of smoked wood, leather, and the earthy smell of the mud and grass beyond the walls. You are wrapped in your sagum, your heavy wool cloak. It's your blanket at night, your coat by day. Next to you, in a carefully ordered stack, are your other possessions, your tunic, your belt, your sandals. And propped nearby, your armor and weapons. They are not just tools. They are your life, your worth, and they must be kept clean, always. Then it comes, the first clear note of the bucina, the soldier's trumpet. It pierces the quiet. This sound is the absolute ruler of your day. It is time to rise. There is no shouting, no frantic rush. It is a routine practiced for years. You and the 7 other men in your contubernium, your tent group, your military family, swing your legs to the packed earth floor. You pull on your tunic, fasten your belt, and slip on your sturdy caligy, those sandals with thick soles studded with iron nails. The room fills with the quiet sounds of movement, of leather creaking, of low, sleepy murmurs. The day has begun, ordered and precise. As the first light truly touches the wooden watchtowers, the men of the century begin to gather. The unit assembles in rows in the central street of the fort. Your centurion stands before you. You can see his breath in the cold air. He is a veteran, his face lined, his bearing stern. He carries a vitus, a twisted vinewood staff. It is a symbol of his authority. He does not need to shout. His voice is firm, and it carries. He receives the orders for the day from the fort's commander and passes them down to you. Perhaps today your sentry is on fort duty, or maybe you have a long patrol along the wall. Or, most common of all, there is work to be done. The Roman army is always building, always repairing. After the roll call, you're dismissed to eat. Breakfast is not a leisurely affair. You join your contubernium to share a simple meal. It might be pulse, a plain porridge of boiled wheat, or a piece of hard bread, bucellatum, dipped in watered-down wine, pasca. It is fuel, not a feast. The conversation is quiet, practical, a comment about the weather, a joke about one of the mules, a shared memory of a warmer climate. Then the work begins. If not marching or drilling, a soldier might be a carpenter, a blacksmith, a stonemason, or a digger. You could be repairing a section of the palisade wall, cutting stone for a new bathhouse, clearing ditches, or working in the granary. The army keeps you busy. This daily labor, the physical, repetitive motion of sawing wood, or mixing mortar, or moving earth, it has its own rhythm. It is tiring, but is also steadying. It builds the fort, and it also builds the endurance of the legion. As the sun climbs higher and the muscles begin to warm with the work, let us consider the weight a soldier carried, not just in his pack, but on his very body. When we picture a Roman soldier, we see the gleaming metal, The iconic larica segmentata, the plate armor. But let's consider it slowly. First, the subarmalis, a padded undershirt. It protects your skin from the chafing metal. Then, the heavy sections of iron plate are lifted onto your shoulders and fastened around your torso. It is cool at first, then it warms with your body heat. It is not overly restrictive, but you are always aware of its weight, its presence. It is a shell. On your left arm, you buckle your scutum, the large, curved, rectangular shield. To march, you wear all this, and you carry a pack on a T-shaped pole over your shoulder. In it, a cooking pot, a dish, a sickle, a saw, a cloak, a water skin, and rations. This total weight is perhaps 60 pounds or more. This is your world. You learn to move with it, to sleep in it, to live in it. The clink of the plates, the rustle of the leather straps, the thud of your nailed sandals on the road. This is the soundtrack of the Legion on the move. It is a sound of immense, slow power. But even the most disciplined life has its moments of rest and of connection. When the trumpet sounds again, marking the end of the day's main labor, you return to your contubernum. These 7 men are your constant companions. You share a tent in the field, a room in the barracks. You cook together, eat together, and your pay is pooled for common expenses. You know each other's habits, each other's stories from home. A farm in Hispania, a fishing village in Greece, a crowded street in Syria. There's a hierarchy here, too. The oldest, most experienced soldier is the decanus, the leader of the tent group. He keeps order, settles minor disputes, and represents you to the optio, the centurion's second in command. Life in this small group teaches you reliance. You trust the man next to you to keep his armor clean, to stand his watch, to guard your back. In the quiet of the evening, as you share a simple stew of barley, lentils, and a bit of salted pork, there's a bond here. It is not spoken of often. It is shown in the passing of the bread, in the mending of a torn tunic for a mate, in the shared groan about the centurion's strictness. This is your primary family for 25 years. And as the evening settles in, the fort becomes a small, self-contained town. The sun begins to set behind the wooden walls. The light turns golden, then red. The fort is not just a military camp. It is a community. Around you is a vicus, a civilian settlement that has sprung up outside the gates. But inside there is a bathhouse. The evening bath is a sacred ritual. It is not just about getting clean. It is about soaking away the aches of the day in the warm pool, the caldarium, then cooling off in the frigidarium. It is a moment of pure, quiet relief. The steam rises, and the sounds are muffled and echoing. After the bath, you might have a few moments to yourself. Some men gamble with dice. Others write letters home on wax tablets, the stylus scratching softly. A few might visit a shrine to Mithras or Jupiter Dolicinus, gods popular among soldiers, for a moment of private prayer. You might simply sit outside the barracks, mending a strap, and watch the stars appear, one by one, over the watchtower. The sounds of the fort soften. The distant laugh of a man, the lowing of an ox in the stable, the crackle of a cooking fire. Then, the final trumpet call of the day. The bucina sound for lights out. You return to your room in the barracks. You place your gear in its designated spot, ready for the morning. You wrap yourself in your cloak. In the darkness, the sounds of 8 men breathing, shifting in sleep, fills the small space. The sentries change on the walls. Their footsteps are regular, steady, a quiet promise of safety through the night. This was a common day, but life was not all routine. There were the long, long walks. Now, let's imagine a different day. The order has come. The entire legion is to move. Before dawn, you strike your tent, pack your marching kit, and fall into line. The centurion is at the head, the aquilifer carrying the legion's eagle standard beside him. And then, you walk. The Roman army marches to conquer distance. The pace is steady, relentless. 5 Roman miles in 1 hour. 20 miles in a day. Your nailed sandals strike the paved stone of a road that seems to go on forever. Left, right. You see the back of the man in front of you, the sway of his pack. You feel the dust of the road on your skin. You hear the endless, repetitive crunch of gravel and iron, the jingle of equipment, and the occasional call of an officer. You stop only for a short midday rest and meal. Your body moves almost without thought. The mind can wander. You think of home. You recite a poem you learned as a boy. You watch the landscape change, from forest to field, from hill to river valley. This is how Rome held its empire, not just by fighting, but by walking, mile after mile after mile, connecting its world with these ribbons of stone and grit. The march is a meditation in endurance, a test of will performed one step at a time. And after years of these days, what was the reward? What did it all lead toward? Your service is 25 years, a lifetime. As the years pass, you see new recruits arrive, young and nervous. You become the veteran. Your pay, saved carefully, grows. You might marry a local woman from the Vicus, though your union is not legally recognized until your discharge. You might have children who play inside the fort walls. And then, the day arrives. Your honesta missio, your honorable discharge. Before the legion assembled, your name was called. You step forward. The commander speaks words of thanks. You're given a diploma, a bronze certificate of your service and citizenship, which you can break in half, sending one part to Rome for the official record. And most precious of all, a grant of land. A plot, often in a frontier province, to farm. As we leave that fort on the frontier and let the image of the marching column fade into the night, listen for a moment. Beneath the grand history of emperors and empires, you might just hear the echo of a single, steady step on a stone road. A step taken, and then another and another. The true, slow, relentless heartbeat of Rome. Now, let that rhythm slow and soften until it matches your own calm breath. The watch is ended. The fort is at rest. And here, in the quiet of your own room, far from those distant frontiers, may you find a deep and peaceful rest. Good night, dear listener. May your dreams be gentle.